Hello, everybody. Welcome to my first, to the first of my consistent videos. I'm really not very good at this. It's not that I'm not good, I just don't like doing it, and I also don't know where the camera is, but anyway. I just wanted to touch base, give everybody a little bit of a heads up as to what I'm doing and what's going on with me, because things are a bit crazy. Just drove this morning in the 3 degrees Celsius in September, what global warming, to pick up my old passport and supporting documents, which were delivered to, hope it's the right way round, Captain Lady Kerry de Courcy from Her Majesty's Passport Office, and so that is my name, in service to humanity without a shadow of a doubt. It's a beautiful, beautiful, clear day, hence apparently the cold. Absolutely so happy to be here, to be home, except that I do miss my little cherubim Imogen dearly, although she's super busy doing all of her schoolwork, and I guess it's better to be busy at this time so you can be distracted from all the nonsense which is surrounding us. Right, where do I want to start? What do I want to say? I have to do this every day. This is my mission. I do have a bit of a weird cold type thing. Now, I can take this in 2 ways. It's either frequency radiation nonsense, or it's detoxification. I have a theory that because the pineal gland is here and we have all this stuff going on here, excuse me, that there's some kind of connection. So I'm sorry if I sound a bit rough and a bit annoying, but I promised I was going to do this video today, and I'm going to keep it short, and I'm going to do many. So, England, interesting. It's been an interesting month. I have met many, many people who are awake and who have been very receptive to things that I've been sharing. What do I share? I normally share about how we're sovereign and free, and I share about how, the planet has been under control of a few people who are basically criminals and crooks, and that we are free, but that your freedom is not going to be given to you. One must take it. So I talk about sovereignty. The second thing I talk about is parasites and how important it is to detoxify. And then I just basically go around giving loads of people as many compliments as I can to just raise the collective vibration. It's amazing what a compliment or a smile can do for somebody who's looking like they're struggling a little bit. And I keep telling people that amazing things are coming. Amazing things are coming. But there's going to be some pain first. So there was a thought that I had today about thoughts. So our thoughts create our reality. And it's very important to be kind of guarded about what kind of thoughts are in your mind, right? Which is why we're being completely attacked with an absolute bombardment of information right now. It's as the Great Awakening is underway, and as the ascension is underway, without a shadow of a doubt, we are in this process. It's absolutely real, more real than what we think is real. That's why we have this increase in absolute chaos coming in to confuse and distract us. Do not be distracted. Stay focused on yourself, on your life, on the things that you're doing to try to make a difference in the collective, so that we raise the vibration. If you are not in a good space in yourself, you can't do jack for anyone else. It's as simple as that. we've been taught that to kind of focus on yourself is kind of selfish, and that's the kind of the whole tack that they've used with the injections, the shots and the jabs, is you're doing it for other people. I just went this morning to get myself a new duvet cover because the one at this Airbnb is just, oh my God, I wake up sweating in it. So I went off to get one, and the guy, as he lifted his arm up to try and get it down for me, he said, I've just had my flu shot, haven't I? Oh, my arm's killing me. His co-worker says, oh, I know, mine was really painful. I had a dead arm for a week. I'm like standing there, and I said, well, why do you do it? And the guy said, oh, well, I've got a disabled son. I've disabled son, so I have to. The depths of the manipulation are staggering. I mean, we know it takes place in families, but, to do it to a whole planet, it's pretty unbelievable. But we know that. So it's important to protect our thoughts. I've lived my life being totally affected by other people's thoughts from a very, very early age. Very afraid to make people angry, very afraid to be seen doing the wrong thing because of the things that happened to me as a very small child and growing up. Now, I don't blame anybody for the things that happened to me. In fact, I'm actually extremely grateful that I've got through it alive, because it gives me an extremely unique vantage point at this moment in time. And I see it all as being absolutely perfect for, being an ambassador at this time for the ascension process, and, for me to be able to have the wisdom to help to guide and support people through the process. That's my kind of CV. My qualifications are the shit show of the life, right? Which, looking back, wasn't that bad. It makes everything all the more beautiful now, especially as I'm driving around these country lanes and in the beautiful sunshine. I mean, the light is golden green today. It's so beautiful. 3 degrees, global warming, but really stunning. But the thoughts, yeah, it's been quite the process for somebody like me to be able to get to the point where I can actually still my mind and have finally learned to be conscious of my breath. And, it takes time for it to have an effect, because it literally is a process of fake it till you make it, because what works for one doesn't always work for someone else. And I guess that's why I've spent my life doing a million billion things. I've learned 1,000 therapies. I've been a teacher. I've been a waitress. I've been a secretary, obviously a mother, a wife, a sister, a daughter, and a friend. And I can do pretty much whatever I want. And I feel very blessed at this moment to be able to, choose any direction that I want to go in, because I'm in this vantage point where I know that I am in control of my vessel. I'm in charge of my vessel. I have nothing to fear. Death's an illusion. Everything is a lie. Everything is just a matrix that's been constructed to confine us. And once you kind of realize that, and once you make the stand, as I did, obviously with the whole Karen Dior thing, where I kind of was pretty much ready to die. I know that sounds really kind of dramatic, but Malaysia's pretty much a certain kind of country. And when all that went down, it was pretty scary. But I now know there is nothing to fear. Like, the system is gone. It's over. And we are creating the new system. And so, the stronger your belief in yourself and the fact that you can affect the weather, you can affect other people's moods, you absolutely can affect, like, what comes next, because the future doesn't exist. The past is just thoughts in your mind anyway, which are generally thoughts that we tend to kind of like think over and over and over again. We go over the same thoughts over and over again, and that's how we keep stuck in the pattern. So the key is with the thoughts, first of all, is to just be able to be in a space where there are no thoughts. And like people call that meditation. However, I would say that meditation for me has always been quite a scary word, because I am a bit ADHD because of the trauma that I've been through in my life. However, I do believe that when the EBS started in March 2020 around the world, we were all given or forced into being with ourselves. You know, I fully believe that, you know, the war is won. It's all done, and it's literally now just a process of taking down all the local bad guys and all the social media bad guys, and, you know, all those that want to hinder the Great Awakening and the ascension, because we are ascending, and that is absolute, absolute, absolute. It's totally, completely, and absolutely the truth. And however that looks for you is none of my business, and how it looks for me may only be an inspiration. It's not, I'm not here to say, oh, look at me, I'm ascending and I got it. And because I don't. I just know that I'm learning to be at peace with myself in every situation. I know that I'm challenging myself constantly, and that, you know, whatever happens, I fall back to God, the creator, source, whatever you want to call it. It's real. And there is an energy. We are connected to something profoundly, incredibly beautiful if we choose to be. And once you kind of surrender to the fact that you have no control, like you really have no control in this whole matrix, that's when the magic begins to happen. I know many of us have talked about synchronicities and stuff, but like this trip here, this has been insane. It's just been incredible. And I'm quite often in a state of overwhelming kind of joy and gratitude at how amazing things turn out when you do surrender and you do trust that there is nothing to fear at all. You know, we are infinite beings of light. We're not solid. It just appears that way because of the beliefs that we've been taught. You know, that's why in school they want to teach you about biology, and they want to teach you about that. You know, the first thing we have to learn is the writing and the spelling and the language and the words. And why is it so difficult to learn? Why does it not come naturally? Because it's not natural. And then those words and those labels and those concepts, which do not exist at all, when they are applied to a group of people or to a whole consciousness, become what we perceive to be real. That's how powerful we are. So we're currently in a process of undoing all of that and I don't want to say reteaching or retraining, you know, humanity, if we want to use the word humanity, to kind of recreate. It's more about trying to show people that, you know, that we are all individually responsible for our own realm and the creation of our own realm. And, you know, so back to this thoughts thing, you know, that's why it's very important to stand as the gatekeeper at the gate of your mind and be mindful of the thoughts that are knocking around in there. And any thoughts, just like any unwanted guests in your house that displease you or cause you unease or dis-ease, kick them out. Kick them out. Don't entertain them. And, you know, we've been so thoroughly brainwashed to such a level. This does take time. And, you know, why am I at this point now? I notice there's quite a few people seem to be almost a bit envious that I'm at this point, especially when I share. And I share not to inspire envy, but to inspire a kind of a hope, or just to inspire. Because I am fully aware that, you know, I've been through all of this for a reason. Because I chose this mission to be here at this time. I chose to be here as a light, and to allow God and source, the divine energy, the divine feminine, to channel through me, to speak to all of you. I know this. It's interesting that 10, 12 years ago, I started on like a self-healing journey in terms of kind of learning to do quantum therapies such as body talk, Bowen therapy. I mean, it started off with emotional freedom technique and tapping, but it's basically all just quantum innate healing. And, it's amazing that that happened, that I was drawn to that because look where we are now. I've been wandering around and the NHS here is clearly collapsing and they are now operating out of trailers in car parks of shopping malls and supermarkets. The NHS is operating out of trailers. It's gone. It's over. I've been trying to find, I've got a really sore neck, which is why I'm kind of doing this. Left neck, right brain, it's a spiritual burden, but it's okay. I've been looking for people in the alternative therapy industry to help me, and they're all booked up. The one girl that I found, she's not free until after Christmas. So I think I know what my job is here. And I definitely am going to set up a healing modality of my own, which will be 99% just being present with the person so that they can connect to themselves. I feel like my fire's gone out. Having so much fun with this wood fire. It's really cool. And I'm so excited about my new place that I move into on the 3rd of October and my birthday, 52, on the 6th of October. And then I think I'm traveling back to Malaysia on the 7th for a week. Digressing, just to give you all a little break, and then we'll get back to the NHS therapies and thoughts. It's just the way my mind works. It goes all over the place. I'm looking out at the beautiful, look at this, what beautifulness. Those hills in the distance are where I'm going to be living in less than a week. In the middle of nowhere. Absolutely in the middle of nowhere. So the thoughts. I did these therapies and I became aware that, how separate we had become and how irresponsible we had become in terms of, taking responsibility for our own thoughts, all right, and our judgments, and how the feelings within us, which we don't understand, we're always looking outside and externally for the source that's causing it, and therein lies all of the drama and the trauma and the arguments and the separation and the angst, because we're looking to blame everybody else for the way we feel. We're looking to blame the government. We're looking to blame the politicians. We're looking to blame our spouse, our children, our parents, whoever, society, whatever, it doesn't matter. But the fact is, whatever happens to you, happens. Or how you choose to respond to that, that's the key. Now, I understand that, most people are living in fear, and that's why people behave that way, and that's why they tend to react. I still do it. We all still do it, whilst we're in these physical vessels the way they currently are, even though they are being upgraded. It's difficult, and but accept that we are in these vessels and that we are in these lives right now. And that our mission is to just constantly overcome our own emotions, really. It's not even overcome them, it's just, learning to just be at peace more and to not react as much and to be forgiving and to be understanding and to be compassionate of other people who are in a state of anxiety, fear, depression, and a state of overreaction all the time. It's just having that grace. The only thing I pray for is grace. Grace to accept the things I can't change and to try and do my best, but also to honour myself and to look after myself. The thoughts. This was supposed to be a really quick video and it's now like 19, 20 minutes. I'm definitely going to keep it under half an hour. But the thoughts, what I realised is that, so again, I'll repeat, our thoughts create our reality. And for me, I realised that most of my life, most of my thoughts were about other people. Oh, if I behave in this way, if I do A, B, C, this person's going to think X and that person's going to think Y and this person's going to think Z, so I better not do that because I want to keep an equilibrium and I don't want to rock the boat. Now, I know, we've heard this so many times over and over again, but I think it's important to let these messages really, really sink in. Who are we? Who are you? Who am I? What do I want? What's important to me? Well, after having gone through all the drama and the aggro, I think, and as well, this past 2.5 to 3 years has been such a gift because it's taught a lot of us what we don't want. And I want peace. I want to be surrounded by nature. I finally want to do the right thing and go hiking. I'm going to go horse riding again. I'm going to try muck out in a stable so I can make friends with a horse and try and ride again because I'm a bit scared after my last, I had a few accidents and issues in Malaysia when I was working with the horses there. And I just want to be of service. Truly want to be of service to anyone that needs it. I really do. And I feel that I'm completely and utterly qualified just with the grace and the compassion and the love that I feel. And, my absolute desire to raise the vibration of the whole as high as I can. That's what we're here for. And so, yeah, it's about guarding your thoughts, and the best way you can do that is definitely we've got to spend time alone. We need that alone time. Because if you're trying to create your reality, and there shouldn't even be the word if or trying, but never mind, when one is creating one's reality, one must be very aware of one's thoughts, all right, and choose your thoughts wisely, because gradually it trickles down from the fifth and above into this reality, this dense 3D solid kind of weird reality that we've been trapped in, and we can change and morph that which appears to be solid. It just, depending on your will and your belief, can take a little bit longer than it might do for somebody else, right? But fake it till you make it, because the more you practice, the more you'll start to notice the little synchronicities and the little things that happen. I feel like I'm in such a flow state right now that even if I don't ascend any further, or even if more amazing things don't appear, I'm kind of really happy where I am. I'm even like loving the cold, but that's only because I've had like 22 years in the non-stop tropical heat. So it's always about that duality. We needed the duality to really show us how much the opposite is. If everything's just like on an equilibrium all the time, there's no growth. There's no growth without conflict. And I think it's safe to say we've been through a pretty hefty dose of conflict, and therefore we are entering an era of peace. We totally are. And so be glad and be grateful if that's what you desire. I'm pretty sure in 1,000 years' time we're going to be looking for a new mission on a new planet. Okay, let's go. And we'll be entering into another hell of sorts, whether we lose our free will in the process again, and our memories and all that, I don't know. It doesn't matter. I guess they say that Earth is the ultimate school, right? And because you forget and it's we are lost, we're blindfolded, we're handicapped, we pretty much have none of our senses. We're 99.99 recurring percent devoid of any real senses, which all come from here and here, the heart, and from within. So thoughts. Guard your thoughts with your life. Guard your thoughts and choose your thoughts, because your thoughts create your reality. Know that you are protected. Know that you are safe. Know that together there isn't anything that we can't do. It's game over. It is game over. So be fearless. Stand up for yourself. Take back your freedom and start creating the life that you want for yourself and for others to enjoy with you. I know that this place that I found, it was the only place that I looked at. I decided within 2 days of deciding to stay here, I already had a car, and I had made an appointment to look at a house. I am now moving into that house. It's beautiful. It's overlooking a lake. It's they were holiday homes. There's 3 of them together, and then the guy literally just decided to make them into rents. I had a chat with him yesterday. Lovely, lovely chap. I'm so excited. It's a beautiful place. I'm going to finish my book. I started a memoir about my life, my childhood. I started it in 2010. It only took me 6 months. I was trying to work on it in 2019, and then the Shizzle show descended, or the Sparkle show, whichever way you want to see it. And I'm going to finish that, get it done, because that's kind of my CV as well, especially for people who are involved in the satanic ritual abuse stuff. I'm quite able and prepared to help and deal with people, children, adults who've been through that, because I know what happens. And yeah, the breath. I think my next video I'm going to do on the breath, but the breath helps as well to slow down the thoughts. But I just wanted to talk about the thoughts. Guard your thoughts. Have positive thoughts. Think good things about people. Be forgiving. And I will be back. I am going to do a video a day. There's a lot to talk about, a lot to share, a lot to reinforce over and over and over. So I'm going to repeat myself. I am very much digression, free flow. I'm not going to have a notebook. I'm not going to memorize anything. I'm just going to connect when I feel like it and share. And I'm going to be talking about Saint Germain, because Saint Germain has been in my life for quite some time. I'm going to be talking about Joseph S. Benner and the impersonal life, because I believe this is a message from our oversoul. The oversoul overseeing those of us who came here as what some people call the 144,000, or it could be the God voice. It's the self-God voice. I'm going to be talking more about how creating your own reality, or me creating my reality, and I'm going to be sharing my journey, beautiful places in the northwest of England that I go to, people I talk to. My nephew Luke's going to help me to kind of get this going, and do little snapshots and stuff to put on TikTok and blah 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 blah, just to kind of get the views up. Look, I'm not after followers, I'm not after views. I just feel a burning desire to give a message. And in chapter 3 or 4 of the book that I wrote, it was about how I was in a nativity play when I was like 5 in a little village in England. And it begins, because I wrote this book from my soul, it starts, she was the angel Gabriel, standing silent and still. Her pale page bob blonde hair cast a halo around her. I can't remember the exact words. I probably should memorize it. But I feel like that book that I wrote then, those words that I wrote were almost a bit prophetic. We are the angelic human race, although I think the word human has got some dodgy connotations to it. So I guess it's the best way to say it. But we are the angelic human race, and our DNA is being switched on. Bear with it, allow it, and much love, light, joy, peace, and gratitude to all. Thank you for listening.